the way it is. It's so Agatha Christie. We're on a train. Someone's been murdered. And we don't have our linchpin prick key detective to humiliate the suspects until they come clean.
It's just you and I, and like in the fucking bar cart.
Yeah,
just is that a thing?
Yeah.
Is like a
good cop, drunk cop, sitting in the bar cart. Bad cop's not here to fucking take care of Bizwhack.
No, so it's just us. But hey, hello and welcome to the Cryptonaut podcast. I am Mark Storrs, and with me as always is
Robert Morphy.
Unfortunately, Chris is under the weather, but as the mystery unravels, we will find that Robert and I will be in the bar car.
Yeah, we will.
We will solve this mystery.
Oh, we will. By
100%.
By journey's end?
Yes.
By the time we get through the snow-covered tunnel, and I don't know, I guess we're on the Trans-Siberian Express. I just figured out. It's wintry, it's Russian. It's going to be treacherous. More people will die, I assure you. But the key thing is it won't be us.
No.
We're going to be drunk, and by the end, we're going to have it solved. Not as quickly as if we had Chris, clearly. I mean, those next 6 lives could have been spared, but it's no choice. He couldn't make the train. That's what's happening.
So here we are, holding it down, much like our fellow patrons holding us down.
What? Look at that segue.
You like that?
That was masterful.
Yeah, that was not forced at all.
No.
I didn't just kick that through the door.
God, yeah. No, that was not completely unlubed in a tiny orifice.
No.
Just, it made it.
There it is. But thank you also very much for your monthly Patreon support, honestly.
Yeah,
the
fucking for realsies.
The amount of people out there that are supporting us is crazy. It's turned us into a small business.
Yeah.
So we're super excited. We cannot thank you all enough.
But more importantly, it's a small business that just comes from love. Like, you motherfuckers are supporting it because you appreciate it, and that means the world.
Yeah, exactly.
So thank you.
Listeners supported, and we appreciate it. So let's do some shout-outs for our good patrons. Robert.
Fucking A right. We're going to begin with Jeremy Littleton.
Hell yeah, Jeremy.
Barry McCulkiner.
Hell yeah, what up, Bear?
I like that name. Lil Squints.
Oh, shit.
Oh, I think I had your album. It was 88. It was good. It was an EP.
Yeah.
Melissa Padilla.
Hell yeah, Melissa. Thank you.
Talia Mates.
Talia, what up?
Tyler Barkalow.
Tyler.
Jack.
Yeah, just good old Jack.
Mm-hmm. American names. American made. Unless you're not. In which case.
Which is fine.
Awesome. Cole Mealy.
Thank you, Cole.
Minnesota Bean Monster.
Oh, we got the old Minnesota Bean Monster.
That is a cryptid that's gone under my radar until now.
There you go. Now we know it.
Ryan Holiday.
Hell yeah, Ryan.
That's 2 fucking L's for the plebes.
Hell yeah.
Dreskel.
Sweet.
That's totally like a mid-90s drug dealer's character name. That's just what a lazy screenwriter. I mean, I know, True Romance and Gary Oldman, but I feel like that variation was used a lot.
Dude, you need some age? Go see Dreskel.
Yeah. Oh, man, don't mess with Dreskel.
Oh, man.
Don't fuck around with his lady friends.
Dude, Dreskel got ripped off. Oh, no.
There's going to be blood.
He's going to show up with the sawed off.
There will be Jamocha shakes.
Totally.
And blood.
There it is.
Mary Bittersweet.
Oh, our buddy Mary.
Yeah.
Thank you so very much. Actually, her and her husband Matt visited us at the Paranormal Con that we did a few years back there in the Finger Lakes Mall.
That's where we probably met them.
Well, yeah. Well, no, actually, before that, we met them at our live show at the Pug.
Did the live show happen first?
Yes.
Oh, then you're right. That is where we met them.
Oh, no.
I know, dude. You expect me to remember the
No, it's
order
true.
things happen?
It's true.
That is a ridiculous conceit.
It is. But thank you, Mary, so very much.
Either way, it was nice meeting you both times.
Yes.
And your hubby. Sweet,
Yes.
sweet people.
Definitely.
Alex Hex.
Hell yeah, Alex.
Reggie.
Oh, shit, Reggie, what up?
You know the deal with Reggie.
Hell yeah.
Sean McDonald.
Thank you, Sean.
Aaron Funk.
Yeah, Aaron, what up?
John Universe.
Mr. Universe. Thank you.
I think he needs like a middle, like Jonathan T. Universe.
Yeah, there you go.
You get over here. Look what you've created, sir.
Nice.
He's a deity, obviously.
Totally.
His name's fucking Universe. Kayla Nickerson.
Oh, yeah, Kayla. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Kayla. And we're going to round us out with Megan Arnold.
Nice, Megan. Thank you so much. Thank you to everyone for your continued Patreon support. It means the world to us. Be sure again to check that out at patreon.com/Cryptonaut Podcast.
All sorts of perks.
Oh, dude, you got the $1 and $5. $1 you get 1 bonus audio, plus access to the Discord. The $5 you get the 4 up to no more than 4 audios plus the Discord access. So check it out, and we got some updated Patreon things happening soon. So be sure to jump on there.
Boy, we threaten that a lot.
We do. We threaten a lot of stuff.
But someday I really believe a portion of it will happen.
I think so too. Yes.
I mean, all of it's ridiculous. I'm not going to suggest that.
It's just we are a 3-man operation that just, time is not a thing that we have on our side.
No, LIVIN, baby. We're just getting through.
There you go. We're just making it happen. So this week, Robert, we are talking about the DC Paperman.
I know, it sounds like a political conspiracy. It does not have the vibe of a potentially paranormal event.
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
Yet.
But we'll have to see what happens. Let's get started with, in 2010, a government worker accidentally stumbled into an unnerving encounter with entities of unknown origins, instantaneously ripping him from his workaday world of his everyday existence and thrusting him headlong into a perfidious and peculiar parallel universe that made him not only question the sanity of his own mind, but fear for his very life.
I do like the twist you threw in there.
You like that?
Yeah. No, you took this on your own verbal journey, and I'm telling you what, that made the roller coaster 3 times more exciting for me.
You know what happened to it is I was reading, I lost my spot, and I knew where I was going, but I'm like, the sanity of his sanity.
Yes. The mind where he thinks his thoughts.
Exactly.
I love it, though.
Don't make me bleed my own blood.
Oh,
there it
never,
is.
ever. And here's the thing. It's tough enough when you have to question your sanity. I
yeah.
think most people I know and love have had moments in their lives where that happens. Surely I know that feeling all too well. But when it's brought on by an outside source that, may or may not be typical of our reality, let's put it that way. And then on top of it, you got a fear for your fuck-sucking life.
Yeah.
That's just a 1-2 punch of not just inconvenience, but actual dread.
Yeah, I mean,
that
dude,
is not dope.
Shit is hard enough out there.
Life is hard enough.
Exactly. And then you got to deal with this kind of bullshit
Goddamn
on top of
papermen
it.
showing up, fucking up your deal. And we're going to find out. It's a pretty bad scene. Like, this dude's just doing his thing.
Okay.
He's trying to support. Maybe he's got a family. I don't know.
All right. Foreshadowing.
But whatever this guy has, he's just living his life.
He might have one now and have to deal with the fallout of this. Ooh.
Oh, every day.
There you go.
Every fucking day. But you know what? Enough of this. Let's just get to it.
Let's do it.
In the ever-expanding labyrinth of paranormal inquisition, there are many well-traveled highways and byways containing accounts of humongous hairy humanoids, bulbous-headed black-eyed abductors, and self-propelled silvery saucers. But, as the intrepid know all too well, for every well-trampled corridor of the unknown, there are a plurality of shadowy side passages that branch off into much darker, more isolated, and even more surreal stalks of high strangeness.
Oh, you're bringing it. All right.
The labyrinth breaks down. It is in one such hellish hallway, complete with mold-infested peeling plaster walls smothered in dried brown smears that can either be blood or shit, and a decaying array of incessantly flickering fluorescent bulbs, that the uncanny and decidedly eerie entities we're going to contend with today call home. Figuratively, at least. In reality, they live someplace much more insidious. Washington, D.C.
Oh, God, you're bringing it right to the fucking heart of America.
Drum roll,
The
please.
eagle, the fucking eagle and the baby and the Bible. Oh, shit.
The zombie eagle has landed.
Dude, we are going to the heart of fucking darkness.
On Thursday, March 13th, 2014, Lon Strickler's Phantoms and Monsters website, which of course is a phenomenal resource, as we know, published an account by an unidentified former postal worker who claimed to have had a life-altering run-in with a group of inhuman, enigmatic entities and their all-too-human collaborators while delivering mail to a building located somewhere in the District of Columbia. So I find this interesting right out the gate, that it's regular folk and non-regular folk just working in the DC.
Just doing their shit.
Just doing their thing. The man who evidently decided to maintain his anonymity not only to preserve his reputation, but to protect his life, was on his usual mail route delivering to a block of government office buildings when he halted outside a particularly massive edifice to finish eating an apple that he'd packed to help keep his energy up. After finishing his snack, the mailman scanned the area and, not spying any trash cans in the vicinity, decided to simply chuck the biodegradable core onto the lawn.
I always throw.
I would totally do that.
Dude, I just threw a banana into like a hill at work. There was
you threw a banana into a hill.
There was that sounds weird.
It sounds weird.
It's like hot dog down a hallway, but banana into a hill.
There it is.
Yeah, dude, it's fruit. It's biodegradable. You can throw that shit anywhere. Dude, you know what I thought? I was like, if I throw this banana on the hill, you know who's going to eat it? The fox. The foxes will come out in their little fox dance. Because they dance when they walk.
Don't know the way of tropical fruit.
No, and they're just going to be like, oh, what is this?
What an exciting treat.
It's a banana.
Well, yeah. I mean, Gwen Stefani won't be around to teach them to spell it, but they'll surely enjoy it.
Exactly. But, I mean, fuck it, dude. It's fruit. Throw it.
It's fruit.
I want everyone out there right now, any fruit you're eating, throw it.
Or bread product.
Outside.
If it's half a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, huck it.
Don't
if you're
feed
done.
seagulls, though.
Well, and don't throw it directly at the birds, but assume the ants and other things are going to fucking enjoy it. The random banana fox in fucking Mark's yard.
Nothing irritates me more than when we're at our local plaza and there's a car full of people just feeding seagulls.
Oh,
and I'm
God.
like, what the fuck are you doing?
They're heralding the Hitchcockian apocalypse.
Exactly. Anyway, my anti-seagull rant aside, Robert, continue.
Okay. Apple core on the lawn. When he entered the structure moments later, the carrier was ambushed by the building's head of security, who demanded to know why he had littered on the property.
Bureaucratic government bullshit. Because this guy has to justify his job. He's like, well, I'm the lead detective of the sector security force number 3.
Yeah, fruit department. And,
yeah.
The fuck are you doing?
He didn't dump a fucking styrofoam cup.
Exactly. He didn't throw his baggie.
No, he didn't shove a fucking
garb.
He didn't shove a fucking straw in a turtle's nose and be like, get fucked and throw it over there. Yeah, I went
that's
dark.
hard.
Son of a bitch.
Taken aback, the stunned carrier asked how the chief had known about his not so egregious environmental indiscretion, at which point he was informed that the entire building, including the lawn, was covered in state-of-the-art video surveillance technology.
Bullshit. They have a Ring camera just like I do.
Fancy pants.
You know why? Because we've seen government technology from all the different UAP releases, and you know what? Their tech's just like mine. It's fucking trash. I already don't like this head of security guy. I'll fight him right now.
Oh, yeah, no.
No, I'll fight him right now.
This guy's a douche bandit. Likely irked by the head guard's overreaction, the chastised carrier took the browbeating without comment and diplomatically retreated. As he continued, it occurred to him that unlike the other buildings on his route, this archorontic edifice had always remained well nigh impenetrable. Quote, "It was then that I suddenly realized this building had really unusually tight security. Even when I went inside to deposit the mail room was open to me, but the rest of the building was inaccessible. I could only go into the mail room, deposit the mail, and leave. I had to ring a buzzer to be let into the building each time I delivered." End quote.
Dude, it's like fucking it's like Blackwater's fucking lobbying headquarters for DC.
It really could be. It could be.
Some nefarious shit is happening here.
It could be an actual governmental agency, or you're right, it could be a government contractor, which is even scarier in a lot of ways and a lot of times.
It's fucking lobbyists.
The carrier realized that for security to be this tight, this heavily fortified and video-protected building was almost certainly the epicenter for some highly sensitive and likely clandestine defense intelligence agencies, or, as Mark just suggested, contractors. But being a professional, he understood that the purpose of the building and the activity of those who worked there were none of his concern. All he was required to do was keep his eyes down, his mouth shut, and deliver the mail.
This guy needs to fucking break free and rebel.
Don't
Demand
worry.
to know what's in the building. Throw your mail at everyone until they tell you what it is.
And this is going to be a classic example of be careful what you wish for.
Oh, no.
This would prove to be easier said than done, as he would discover just 2 weeks later when his efforts to discharge his duties resulted in psychological trauma that would not only burst his previously cherished conceits regarding the nature of reality and the beings that dwelled therein, but leave him with deep psychic scars that had yet to heal over a decade later. But first things first.
Oh, man, he should have maybe just left us alone.
Yeah.
maybe I'm the one that's jumping the gun.
You encouraged him. You were all excited, and it doesn't go well.
Dude, we're going to rage against the machine, and then I'm like, nah, let's not.
Now, sometimes the machine, in fact, let me say this. This is the pessimist in me. The machine will always outrage you in the end.
I know.
I love my rage against the machine. I love my punk rock rebellion. I love the idea of sticking it to the system. And you know what? In isolated pockets, this psychological terrorism can, create the genesis for incredible change. More often than not, The machine crushes you.
Listen,
It tramples and decimates.
I don't want to fucking die on my knees when I fucking die on my feet.
I won't fucking a rafter.
Is that a flag or something, right?
Oh, someone definitely
has like, I ain't gonna die on my knees. I'm gonna die on my feet. Yeah.
Fucking rafter. All right. The eerie events that would forever change the man's life occurred on an otherwise ordinary day as the mail carrier shuffled through the letters and packages to be delivered to the hyper-secure facility that he learned was most definitely not to be used as his personal garbage can. Before he entered the Stygian structure, the carrier glanced up from the correspondence in his hands, and that's when he caught sight of a trio of strange men who were heading toward him from the opposite side of the road. In the witness's own words, quote, "As I was nearing the building, I saw 3 figures crossing the street on their way towards the building. At first glance, I thought they were normal, but as I looked closer, I was shocked to see how strange they were." End quote.
Whoa.
The mailman described the appearance of these bizarre yet oddly familiar, at least in paranormal circles, beings, stating, quote, "All 3 were dressed in black suits. They all had black sunglasses."
I bet you they all had black pit vipers.
God, there it is.
Yeah, you like it?
Yeah, no, let the trend continue.
When you see the government agent show up and he has a dope pair of pit vipers, you're like, we're going to crush some beers.
Oh, that's a whole new version of an MIB
Yeah.
there. The man would later admit, with the exception of a passing pop cultural familiarity with the Will Smith franchise, speak of the devil, he was completely unaware of Men in Black lore. But after his sighting, he searched online for anything similar to what he'd seen and, quote, happened to run across a description of the MIB. "I suddenly realized this is extremely similar to what I experienced. My mouth dropped open at the similarity."
And we all know that MIBs, generally not the human ones that show up, like the fucking feds and shit that. We're talking like the super creepy fucking black suited acting human.
Yeah.
You know,
Plastic face.
You know,
weird featured. Obviously, they've never used a spoon before or a pen.
They can't do a lot of shit, yeah.
They're threatening yet almost childlike in their awkwardness. Yeah, they're fucked up. Although the masculine figures crossing the street were clad in the crisp, dark, Mad Men-style suits so often adopted by the Men in Black, their unique method of locomotion was anything but slick. In fact, according to the eyewitness, it was painfully awkward. Quote, "They were extremely thin, and they didn't walk by putting one leg in front of the other, but sort of waddled by moving their whole bodies from side to side, lifting one foot off of the ground, then the other foot in a sort of whole body side-to-side waddle. It's hard to explain what I mean, but it was not the way any normal person would walk unless they were unable to move any joints in their legs." End quote.
So, like, if your back goes out or, like, your sciatica fucking kicks up.
And you've got leg braces going full down from, like, hips to ankles.
Because I definitely have had, well, no, I have that hunched over walk.
Oh, we've all had that.
Yeah, and then I'll favor my, like, right leg because my left leg's
the old hop along.
Yeah,
no, I've definitely done
but
that.
No, this
or
sounds
you get
like
that weird, like, deep inner thigh agony, and so you're walking with one leg swooping outward like you're trying to roundhouse kick any toddler that's nearby, because that's exactly how far you lift your leg up and no further.
Yeah, no, it sounds like these guys have like almost like their pants around their ankles and they're trying to fucking walk.
Like super parachute pants. Actually, yes,
doing like
a
weird shuffle.
Yeah, no. So they're just their bodies are moving and no joints, but just this.
That's gonna definitely stick out.
Yeah, you're gonna notice that shit.
Especially you got
no matter how well dressed.
Yeah, 3 super skinny dudes doing it. You're gonna be like, the fuck? All right, well,
you need leg joints, or I promise you, people will notice.
Definitely.
And this is who is going to notice, and I'm going to point this out here. And I'm also going to say I know this because I have a lot of family that work in the postal services.
You do,
including my little sister, my former brother-in-law, my nephew, who is Liam's dad, my baby nephew's dad. So I know this. Yeah. I know from whence I speak, and this is what I'm going to say.
Okay.
It's worth pointing out here that, perhaps second only to kinesiologists and those who hold doctorates in kinematic physics, mail carriers are the world's greatest experts on human locomotion. The reason behind this is simple. Most walk well over 10 miles every day over uneven terrain and ever-shifting environments, all the while hefting packages and constantly scanning for both names and addresses on varying structures and correspondence. Basically, they are experts on how the human body can successfully maneuver through various environs in perpetually changing conditions. In short, there are very few careers that qualify one to be an expert on bipedal mobility, and fewer still where this knowledge is in constant application in everyday situations. But being a male person is definitely one of them. So when this individual is startled by how someone moves, it's worth taking note. Peculiar as the penguin-like, scissor-legged gait surely was, it would not be the mode of walking that would terrify the letter carrier, but the almost unfathomable physiology that forced these things to employ such strange motility. The mailman's mind-bending report would continue, quote, "But as strange as their movements were, this was not what frightened me. What frightened me was that they were absolutely thin. It was like they were as flat as a set of clothes that had been ironed. Their faces and bodies were entirely flat, no contours. The nose did not jut out, nothing. They were also extremely thin. The best I could describe is if you saw a suit hanging from a clothes hanger, that would be about the same thickness. It was like no thickness at all, just clothes hanging on a hanger," end quote.
That's creepy.
And that explains the jointless, wavy fucking movement that is just utterly. You don't need to be an expert, even though I went into all the experts in motion. You could just be a dude.
When you see a walking suit, a maintenance man like myself, I'll be like, that shit ain't right. I'm calling Kevin. Kevin, I need you to come and look at this.
I can assure you that as a crypto historian, I would notice that shit.
Definitely.
Shocked by the sight before him, the dumbfounded mail carrier simply stopped and stared as the two-dimensional trio walked right past him and rang the buzzer to be let into the same building he'd been about to enter. That's the most fucked up part. They're just doing the business. They're just like sidewalking along, skinny as shit.
Yeah, you see something super weird, and then all of a sudden you're like, it's ringing a doorbell.
It's just doing what you got to do.
Like, what the fuck?
Like, it's not magical. It can't teleport through a fucking wall. Come on.
All right, well.
They're just paper dudes.
Okay.
What are you going to do?
There you go.
The man later described how he felt in that surreal, paradigm-shifting moment, claiming with decided understatement that, quote, "I was absolutely scared shitless," end quote.
That's like the best witness statement ever.
That's how you know the shit's on. Because he's not fucking around.
No.
I shit my pants.
Oh, man.
Papermen walked past me. I was trying to be cool. Pants got shat.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Fuck. Oh, that is unnerving. Holy shit.
It was at this moment that the stupefied mailman had a decision to make. Should he just go about his business as if nothing had happened, or should he collapse on the sidewalk in a blubbering pile of gooey existential terror made manifest? I might have gone for the latter. He opted for the former.
Sometimes you just got to continue on with your day. You
got to plug away.
You just got to do it. It sucks, man. It's hard, but you got to be like, fucking, I got things to do.
And we're going to talk about that in a minute, but yeah, there's something to be said for this.
Yeah.
And so as he opted for the former, hoping that the whole incident had been nothing more than a trick of the eyes or even a brief slip of sanity. Perhaps he'd just been seeing things. In his published testimony, the man would later recall, quote, "I really wasn't sure what to do, but I kind of steeled myself and slowly forced myself to ring the buzzer and enter the building, figuring, hey, I might have imagined this. In any case, I should force myself to go through my routine until I can think this thing out." End quote. You got to kind of admire that pluck, though.
The only thing that I would not do is go in that building.
Yeah.
That's one
you
thing
just
I would
skip
not,
that one. When Fred's later like, hey, why didn't you deliver? It's like, oh, did I skip the building?
Sorry, your mail got lost. Sorry.
Yeah. Oops.
Whoops, poop. Sorry, guys.
But then again, I can understand where he's coming from, because if the head of security literally sees him like flick an apple core on the fucking lawn,
right?
Who knows how far away? Him making a conscious effort not to go in there,
right,
is in fact drawing attention to himself.
Yeah, because then you're just walking away.
And as we'll find out, I think that played into his logic a little bit.
Okay.
Showing more intestinal fortitude than I could ever hope to muster under similar circumstances, the postman entered the secured stronghold and made his way toward the mailroom. Passing through the doors, he found not the usually polite response that greeted his entrance, but a stony silence that hung heavy in the air. Quote, "When I entered the mailroom, there were like 10, quote-unquote, normal men standing there, just looking at me. It was really intimidating," end quote.
Oh, man. All right.
So the guys are looking. They know. They know something's up. They know that you know that I know that you know that they know that something's up.
Y'all see that fucked up shit outside? Like, there's a bunch of suits walking.
Finally, one of the men broke the stillness. Locking eyes with the carrier, he asked point blank, "Did you see anything?"
Nope. I don't know what you're talking about. Nothing. I have no clue what you're talking about. Nope. Everything's fine. Here's your Amazon package.
Oh, yeah.
There
Enjoy.
you go.
Hey.
Yeah.
No porch piracy here.
No.
Before the mailman had a chance to respond, another man gravely intoned, "What did you see?"
Not a goddamn thing. I don't know what you're talking about. Been a really good day. Hope everyone's doing good here.
Well, I'm blind. I didn't know that.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's cool, though. Hey, what's for lunch? All right, see you guys later. Bye.
I'm not going to throw any apples anywhere. The jig was up. It wasn't just his imagination. He'd seen something truly inexplicable. Something that was, evidently, never meant for his eyes. The petrified postal worker was stunned, quote, speechless for a second, not knowing how to respond, end quote. He could feel the eyes of these bucolic bureaucrats boring into him as if everyone in the room were judging his every eye movement, twitch, or facial tic, searching for any hint of recognition. Though his mind was racing in a near-blind panic, the letter carrier did his level best to maintain the same nonchalant exterior that he'd always had when entering the mailroom. He instinctively understood that any crack in his composed veneer might well shatter the entire artifice, making it impossible to extricate himself from this outlandish and increasingly terrifying situation. It was at that moment that things went from bad to worse, as one of the papermen sidled up from the side and slightly behind him.
Oh, fuck.
You know, just had to do it. Just had to creep up the scene.
Shit.
The panic-stricken postman simply pretended that he couldn't see the impossibly flat fiend that had approached him.
At that point, you got to be like, yeah, it's the Iraq War. It's still going on. What's going on over here?
And sports.
Yeah.
What about them?
Oh, yeah. Fucking Bills fucking rule, dude.
Yeah, they're going all the way this year.
Yeah, fucking A. Yeah. This is fucking sketchy.
Yeah, it's sketch.
This
is hyper sketch.
This is making me feel all fucking creeped out.
No, I know. I'm in it with him. As I was writing this, I'm like,
oh God, it's so gross.
Because you have to put yourself in those shoes
And
every
also,
moment
too,
of time.
You're outnumbered.
Oh, completely. 10 men at least. Who knows how many wafer-thin fucking entities from the beyond.
This might not be a fight or fuck situation.
Oh, no.
I mean, you might...
First off, you're not getting a boner at this point at all. Regardless. All the Viagra in the world is not helping.
You're just going to start servicing 10 guys real quick.
Well, that side of it might be there. Yeah.
I got 2 hands. Everyone gets a hand job. Here we go.
Everyone, get around. Quick.
We're going to call this the octopus. Yeah, it might. Yeah, this might. You're not going to walk away friends or lovers from this at all.
Probably not.
No, unfortunately.
So the man is dealing with the fact that one of these paper dudes is coming up behind him, and this is what he had to say. It walked right up to me, and I was too afraid to turn my head to the side to look at it. I am very scared just typing this right now, remembering it. It didn't say anything. It just got right up close to me. And I had a feeling of fear so intense, I felt as if my heart had just frozen and was going to fall out of my body onto the ground.
Dude, I hate that. When you get that real life fear.
Oh, yeah.
Where
that,
you
life and
literally,
death.
Yeah, dude, like adrenaline and like rush.
And that ice cold.
The ice cold feeling.
Literally, it's like an avalanche. Well, if that might not be the right word, but like a waterfall of ice cold.
Yeah.
Adrenaline-fueled water shooting all the way down your torso, fucking infiltrating your balls, affecting your heart.
I hate that
making
feeling.
your mind race. It is just unadulterated real horror.
Shit. All right.
The mailroom employees continued to stare at the carrier, seemingly in an effort to assess whether or not he could see the anorexic anomaly lingering next to him. The first worker once again asked him, "Did you see anything?"
Nope, not a goddamn thing. What are you talking about, man? Iraq. Let's do it. I don't know. What are we supposed to do?
Convinced that his life literally depended on the words he chose next, the mailman merely shook his head and took a page from Mark Storrs when he stammered, "No, I didn't see anything."
There you go.
He knew that his words had fallen flat and that the terror that was consuming him had permeated every syllable of his denial. But he remained steadfast, refusing to acknowledge the razor-thin aberration of physics that stood mere inches away. The mailroom men were equally unwavering in their silent insistence that the mailman admit to what he had seen. The eyes of everyone in the room, human and otherwise, burned into the postman. It was an anxiety-inducing standoff that might have shattered lesser psyches, and just when the unlucky mailman must have been convinced that he would never be allowed to leave this citadel of high strangeness, his chief inquisitor looked at him and simply stated, "Okay, leave now."
Sounds good, boss. Have a good day. I'll see you tomorrow. Go Bills!
Go Bills! Always Bills! The compressed creature took a wobbly, stiff-legged step backward to make way for the postman's exit. Still pretending not to see the skinny, supernatural thing, the man braced himself in preparation for walking past this living nightmare, later claiming, quote, "I had to steel myself to actually walk past it on my way to the door, and I was out of the building. It was the bravest thing I've ever done in my life."
Dude. Because that's the moment you could fuck everything up.
Oh, yeah. No, because you see it in movies all the time. That's the moment where the mob boss is going to let you go.
Yeah.
You didn't actually fuck his daughter and shoot his brother-in-law, but you did.
Yeah, you did.
And you think you're going to get away with it, and everything's cool. And then Daphne walks in, and she's like, "Oh, Daddy, this is my new fiance," and you're fucking you eat 6 bullets immediately. That's what fucking happens in this shit in movies. Like fucking something happens, somebody drops something, you make eye contact with the thing, you scream, it screams, it wraps around you like some fucking terrible Marvel symbiote, and everything unravels from there.
If you accidentally make eye contact with this thing and you're like, "Hey, fucking leg day, good job."
Yeah, could you imagine? Yeah, leg day.
Yeah, see ya. Fuck.
No, you're right. It could have fallen apart at any second.
Hey, Chief, what the fuck's up with this guy over here? Was this flat asshole?
Could you imagine this guy? What the fuck is going on here?
The fuck is this asshole? Jesus,
Yeah.
get out of my way, you fucking thin fuck.
Gee, yeah. He's getting through all the cracks. Now, is he here for the paperwork? Huh? You get what I'm saying? Yeah. All right, I'm out of here. Oh, I'm not? Okay.
Fuck.
Oh, yeah. No, the basement. That's going to be great.
Shouldn't have started doing this New Jersey accent of a mobster.
I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know who I was impressing. I'm from Philly.
Yeah, I impressed no one.
In the days and weeks that followed his brush with the bizarre, the mail carrier entertained various ideas as to what he'd actually encountered on his route, even admitting that, quote, "At the time, I had never heard of the MIB. I had no idea what this thing was or what the government was doing. All I knew was that I was dealing with something far more powerful than me. I thought maybe it was some new type of robot that the government was doing test runs on then. But why would they have done that in broad daylight? I could not and still do not understand," end quote. It's interesting to note that despite the mind-blowing reality of evidently sentient, two-dimensional men, the man's first instinct was to assume that he had accidentally stumbled onto a top-secret government project involving cutting-edge AI, controlled nanotech, rather than allowing for speculation that he'd experienced a genuine paranormal encounter. It's refreshing to see an individual try so hard to ground the patently absurd into some semblance of the logical, even when the theory holds no water.
Well, we'll get to our explanations later, but one of the first things that I did consider was, you're in D.C. It's obviously a heavily populated area, tons of foot traffic. Maybe this is some
lots of secrets.
This could be some sort of fucking, like camo. Like a camo technique that we just don't know about.
True.
Kind of like on Monsters Among Us when they talk about the Glimmer Man.
Right.
Where it's someone that looks like they have
predator.
active predator camo. Yeah.
And those cases are happening more and more often.
This also, though, speaking of Monsters Among Us, what up, Derek? What up, Addy?
Hell yeah.
3 odd beings walking synchronicity.
Yeah, no, there's a little mirror men vibe.
There's definitely a little bit of a mirror man
not
there.
Identical odds.
No, just because there's 3 individuals walking oddly, and they also the suits do match.
Right.
But if this is some weird, we'll get there at the end, but that's one of the things that I thought was, maybe this is some sort of fucking camo.
No, and that's something that absolutely should be entertained.
Totally.
And as I said, I admire him for trying to shoehorn the patently absurd into some semblance of a logical explanation.
Sometimes you got to, man, to save your own fucking sanity.
Yes, 100%. On the other hand, I don't think the two have to be mutually exclusive.
True.
And that is, I don't see why if we could make contact with paranormal entities,
Right.
as we've said before with Operation Pitchfork, the United States government would absolutely recruit demons to do shady assassin and espionage
They're
work.
literally putting,
if you could.
They're putting them on the fucking black budget.
100%.
They're like, we need $14 billion to pay the fucking the thin paper dudes over here.
Or just to buy the babies that feed them.
Yeah. Oh man.
Well, it's going to get dark when you've got demon agents.
Yeah, no, I get it.
But either way, we'll get to all of that.
We'll do it.
Regardless of the origins of the creatures in question, be they celestial, interdimensional, diabolical, or earthbound black budget technology, the encounter left the postman traumatized to the point where his paranoia became so profound that he seriously considered completely upending his life.
I feel him though, dude. You go through something like that, what the fuck? What do you just go home and you're like, time for dinner?
Yeah.
Like, what do you do?
I mean, I hope he's a bachelor, because if he's got a family,
oh, you're fucking.
This is gonna be aces for the kids.
It would fucking ruin.
Because they'd be like, no, Dad was good. He was happy-go-lucky. He delivered his shit. He put his head down and he delivered the mail. He gave that speech time and time again. It's not my business. I shut up. I deliver the mail. I go home to my loving wife, my 14 kids, and my 2 dogs.
Wow.
Probably not that many kids.
That's a lot of fucking kids. That's a big house.
But he doesn't mention family at all.
No. All right, well.
Which might be a smart thing, because if he is a family man, don't bring it up.
No.
Because if the papermen know that you're publishing accounts of it, last thing you need to do is out your fucking family.
Yeah, and do what all good dads do and just eat your trauma.
Eat your trauma.
There you go.
That's what good dads do.
There you go. Just eat.
You bury that shit.
Bury it away.
And you drown it in whiskey.
And tons of fucking beers.
Yeah. Whatever your choice is.
Whatever it is, dude.
You find a way to drown the trauma to protect the kids.
Exactly.
Does it backfire? Every time.
All the time.
That's not the goddamn point. The point is you've got to try for the kids.
Exactly. Just make the attempt, okay?
Yeah. God.
There you go.
And then go work it out, I guess, professionally, if that suits you.
Go to work and make it happen. There you go.
Yeah.
Pay the goddamn mortgage and shut your mouth.
Work,
okay?
drink, kill your trauma.
Do what the rest of us do, goddamn it. It's the key to being a dad.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I don't know where it is, but here, this is interesting. This is what he was considering doing. Quote, to give you an understanding of how frightening it was, the first thought that came to my mind was that I needed to leave the country.
Oh my God, he's going fucking intercontinental here.
Yeah.
Holy shit. All right.
To find some way to get the hell out of the country and go somewhere else. But then it occurred to me that if I started to act strangely, they might get suspicious and kill me or something.
See, this is where he might be getting in his own head.
Oh, yeah.
I understand why he would do this.
It's legit.
But you're like, I gotta leave the country. But if I do anything weird, like if I go to Target instead of Walmart, they're gonna know and they're gonna kill me.
Well, can you imagine? Oh, let me just finish this here. I realized the best thing I could do was act normally as possible and pretend nothing had happened. End quote. So to your point, whether or not they would be looking for him, you can understand why he would think shit. I mean, he followed the thing into the building just, I assume, to act normal.
Yeah.
And it put himself in a position that, like, kind of helped crack his sanity just a smidge.
Right.
Not necessarily in a bad way. If we saw anything that challenges our view of reality, all of us would have a quote-unquote crack sanity, and that could either be something detrimental, as a crack implies, or it could be a mechanism for growth, like when a tree gets, a hack into it, it can grow new shit covered up, become stronger than it was before, the whole 9 yards. So, I mean, it's not always a negative thing. It could have made him stronger in a Nietzschean sense, or it could have just fucked him. But that having been said, whatever it was that did it, what occurs to me is that if you have a mindset that makes you be slightly more paranoid, that's what you're bringing to the table. And that's
100%.
clearly what this guy is bringing to the table, which means regardless of the intentions of these things and their human collaborators, you are going to create a prison of horror that you are going to live in, whether or not, it's got some open door policies occasionally, but that you're building for yourself and that you are going to live in for years to come. And in the case of this guy, at least a decade later, because this happened in 2010.
That paranoia is going to fucking ruin you every single day of your life. It's never going to stop.
Well, maybe someday. I mean,
I don't know, man.
I'm rooting for the guy. I'm just saying,
I hope he's okay, dude. But
if you see something that's legitimately potentially this dangerous, and you're already prone to paranoia,
right,
or hyper caution,
you're
going to fuck yourself. You're going to fuck yourself more than these things are going to fuck you.
Yeah, totally.
Because it's like they say, the brave man dies but once, the coward 1,000 times. I don't know how much I buy it, but I understand the principle of it. the person that lives in fear murders themselves and goes through the terror of death
Right.
so many times that it's almost worse than the one that just bites it.
Dude, Lord of the Rings.
Oh my God.
I don't know.
You and your fucking... All right. Yeah, no, you're right, Tolkien.
Yeah.
I should know. I should know when I'm trying to get real with you, share some thoughts and feelings with one of my dearest buddies.
I'm there.
You're going to fucking Tolkien me into a corner.
Dude, I'm there, dude. I'm here.
No, that's your way of saying, fuck you, dude.
No, dude, you and I are going to go on a fucking journey with a ring.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
That was predestined. We knew that was going to happen.
It's going to happen. It has to.
I mean, it'll be in a car.
It's
I'm
how...
going to walk. I'm going to wear shoes.
No.
There's going to be a lot of differences.
We're going to be like Sam and Frodo. How dare you?
Oh, my God. Well, who are the ring wraiths?
Chris.
No.
He comes to get us.
He's
like,
helpful.
You son of a bitch.
I was thinking more of the state police, but yeah, whatever.
It's Chris and some other buddies. Fuck you, Bo.
Oh.
This comes and gets us.
You need shoes. Okay. All right. He's frightened. He wants to leave the fucking country with or without his family. Doesn't because they're going to murder him because they're going to know he's on. Though they should know he's on to him anyway.
Right.
It's a paradox. Literally fearing for his life and almost certainly constantly looking over his shoulder for paper-thin assassins slipping in the shadows, the carrier did his best to resume his normal workaday life at the post office. But the following week, the man was abruptly called into his supervisor's office, where he was informed that word had come down from on high that he had been suddenly reassigned from his old route to a new one.
Okay. Not a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing for him
No,
at all. Can you
actually,
imagine
yeah.
that week?
Like,
he
oh,
must
thank
have.
God.
I would have taken every day off.
Oh, totally.
Like,
I'd be banging in sick every day.
because if he went back to that mailroom like the next fucking day,
Yeah, you're like,
I
hey,
need that story.
guys. Yeah, like, what's
Please
up?
come in, drop off mail, not look at anything. I don't know. Say I burned both my eyes in an industrial accident, have 2 eye patches on, and just throw mail everywhere and leave.
As he walks in and out of the building.
Yeah, he's smashing into walls and doors.
He puts the eye
Yeah,
patches
just
on
lowers
as
them.
he walks
Guys,
in.
I see
know.
nothing. I know nothing.
Oh, Jesus Christ. All right.
It was a move that astounded his supervisor, who asked the man, quote, if he had encountered any problems on the route.
Nope,
end quote.
everything's cool. It's dope. Go Bills.
The carrier maintained his silence and merely responded that there were no problems that he was aware of. Go Bills. Then eagerly accepted the change in assignment. Despite his new route, he was enthusiastic to get out of the delivery business once and for all. And after what he considered to be a, quote, appropriate amount of time continuing to work for the post office, end quote, he quit the job and went to work at a local airport. Even though he'd switched careers and nearly half a decade had elapsed, because the actual story was published in, what was it, 2014?
Yeah, and it happened in 2010. Yeah.
The former mailman remained both perplexed and paranoid, claiming, quote, I'm telling the story now because I need to get this off my chest. I doubt they will come after me now, but if they do, I can't avoid my fate. I've never seen any sort of alien or had any sort of unusual life event of any other kind, nor do I believe that there is such a thing as a devil or demons or anything. So I really don't know what to believe right now, end quote. It's hard. So you're a slightly paranoid, deeply agnostic or atheistic government worker. It's almost easier if you're a God-fearing
Right, then you can just be like,
guy.
it was the
'Cause you're like,
devil.
it's the
And
devil.
then there you go.
I'm going to church it up even harder.
I'm leaving the post
I'm
office.
going to create my barricades of crucifixes and
yeah,
holy
I'm
water.
gonna go work in the airport and just carry large effigies of Jesus everywhere.
Everywhere.
I go.
I'm going to get it tattooed
Yeah.
like I was in a Spanish prison.
Yeah, dude, just get covered in fucking
Just
Jesus
get covered
tats and
in
just be
the
like, there
good
you go.
Lord's words and epitaphs.
Yeah,
Ezekiel 35,
It's, I mean,
point six,
it,
whatever.
It affected him enough where he left the post office. To
Oh, yeah,
go
he
to
couldn't
the
wait.
Airport.
But he stayed there long enough so it wouldn't look suspicious.
Yeah, still, that's a huge change, dude.
What's interesting about
Major.
this, I mean, we always know anything could be a hoax. Diabetes is never off the table, neither is the devil. But when I read things like that, that could just be, somebody really painting a story, but it also smacks to me of somebody who's really living fear.
Yeah.
Like, I'm waiting just this long so that it doesn't look
Right.
shady anymore because I really wanted to work in, I don't know, fucking airport security or whatever he fucking moved on to. And it was probably a step down. He just wanted to never be in a position where he had to walk into another building again,
right,
and pretend he didn't see the horrors.
of the
And we don't even know if these fucking things are dangerous.
No, they're just paper thin, weird, like flat things.
It's fucking weird.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Weird.
So, in a seemingly desperate bid to cling to a less supernatural and slightly more conventional explanation for his off-the-wall encounter, the retired government worker still clung to the idea that he had had an accidental, albeit terrifying, run-in with sci-fi caliber, yet still explicable, secret tech. And this is what he said, quote, "There is no doubt whatsoever the building was under the control of the government. With normal human beings," it's interesting that he emphasizes that.
Okay.
"I still think it was some sort of cyborg experiment. And on occasion, I am still tempted to just leave the country to get away from all of this."
Oh, man.
End quote. I thought when I first read that, like, I'm tempted to maybe go back in there and see if I can see it again. Because a lot of people do that. Like, I've said it before. When we did the listener story where the guy kept going back inside with his dog because he was afraid, but then he got his moxie about him again, and he went back outside, and then he saw some weird light and fucking 14 werewolves on the roof. And he was like, fuck this!
Yeah,
and went back in. I'd be like that.
Oh, totally.
Like, I can see myself being so scared in a situation, I want to get out. But then immediately being like, oh, I didn't look around enough. I didn't really try to assess what happened. I got to kind of get back in there. Getting back in there, immediately regretting it because, again, I feel like I'm in fucking mortal jeopardy.
Yep.
And then getting the fuck out. And so I could see doing that. But that's not what he's doing at all. He's saying, like, every now and again, just randomly, I don't want to know the truth. I want to go to Liberia and hide from the world.
I'm moving to wherever Göbekli Tepe is, and I'm going to live there.
Exactly.
There you go.
It's Turkey, but yes.
Okay, close. I'm going to Turkey. See y'all later.
I'm going to the province of Andorra.
Yeah.
Hidden between the mountains of Spain and France, where only the Tour de France may find me.
Yeah. All right. Well, I do like his theory, but we'll wrap it up here and see what else we got.
Yeah, we're right here at the end. In an interesting postscript to this account, Lon Strickler, the guy who runs Phantom and Monsters, where the story came from, claimed that, quote, "This is actually not the first time I have read an MIB described as thin." And we're going to deal with the MIB connection, too, in a minute.
Okay.
And having a strange side-to-side gait. I went through some notes and found the notation of an incident that occurred in the early 1990s here in Baltimore, Maryland. There had been an automobile accident on I-95 not far from the downtown area near Washington Boulevard, the Washington Boulevard exit, where a witness described a similar-looking person, thin, dressed in a black suit, fedora, and sunglasses, even though I don't think the mailman's guys had fedoras, but I'm not 100% sure, who waddled back and forth like a penguin away from a black Crown Victoria that was stopped near the scene. This quote-unquote person got to the guardrail and hopped over it with ease and disappeared. The local news didn't make note of the person, again in quotes, though it was reported in the city paper a week after the incident, end quote. So it's interesting, and I know this isn't the only time seemingly two-dimensional humanoids have been seen. And I'm sure we're going to deal with it again in the future, and maybe it deserves an overview podcast at some point.
Totally, yeah.
But you know how we do. We're surgeons. We like to do precision cuts.
Yeah.
Precision cuts of meat. Just
super precise.
We're gonna extricate this little bit of the paranormal. So maybe more like a butcher, because then we're going to prepare it in our top flight kitchens, and it's not from a person, except sometimes it is, and we're going to serve it to our audience where it's a delicious little morsel that's probably overpriced and doesn't really give you the full picture, but it's delicious.
We're like two Jeffrey Dahmers and an Ed Gein.
Yeah, there it is. There
Perfect.
it is. 100%.
Got it.
So, last paragraph.
Although Ed Gein wasn't a cannibal. But continue.
Yeah, I know. They always fronted like he was.
Yeah.
All the adaptations implied it, except maybe Psycho.
No, I think he only actually...
He wasn't... You know what he was? An artist.
He just had his own little art.
And a craftsperson.
Yeah, honestly. I mean, if you weren't wearing dead people, that would have been better. But we all express ourselves differently.
I know. Well, we would have one less good Slayer song.
It's true.
One. The rest would still be really good.
Yeah, but still, dead skin mask.
Also, fuck you Nazis, but, you know.
Yeah, totally.
Thanks. I mean, it's not worth it to have the song Angel of Death at all. But, I mean, Slayer did it, and it's a good song.
Yeah, there you go.
But I would trade it to end the horror.
We all would, Robert. We all would.
Yeah, I don't think I said anything profound. Last paragraph.
I don't think I said anything profound. Oh, it's good. All right, last paragraph.
Would
Let's
you
do
give up one Slayer song to end this epic tragedy?
it. Yes, we would.
Let me think about it. Yes,
Yes, I
would.
will.
Without hesitation. Slayer's got other songs. Could it be that we share this incredible reality not only with aliens, hulking hominids, and massive lake monsters, but also with more inexplicable entities like quasi-humanoid stick figures, telepathic rugby balls, and wispy suit-clad 2D beings who are clearly in cahoots with the U.S. government and whose origins and intentions are anyone's guess. Though the mere fact that they exist at all is 100% pure, uncut nightmare fuel.
I 100% agree with that.
And that's
statement.
the rub.
Yeah.
Because as I said earlier, they didn't do anything. They walked the street, walked the street at night alone. They crossed a fucking road. They buzzed themselves in. They're going to fucking work. They get in there. The human dudes are like, hey, what'd you see? What'd you see, Bill?
Yeah,
What'd you see?
One of the things I was thinking about with this isn't like an isolated situation. This is on a busy street where these things are crossing a road to go into a building. So
totally valid observation.
You almost wonder if anybody else even saw these things.
Or in reference to what you were saying earlier about some sort of camo, I don't know, technology or whatever, were they supposed to be invisible?
Right.
And for some reason, be it a genetic aberration, I don't know, what is like that Resident Alien show, I don't know if you saw it with Alan Tudyk, who's fucking phenomenal. It's a great show, but basically he's an alien and he has a cloning, Jesus Christ, a camouflage mechanism. Mm-hmm. And 1 out of a million people has the genetic aberration that
to be able to see it or whatever.
And so maybe it's something along those lines that this guy saw it and they're fascinated, like, how the fuck did you see this?
Yeah, or I mean, because if other people did see it, you would think you'd get a reaction, like people stop and be like, "What the fuck are these
cars
things?"
would screech to halt.
People freaking out.
A woman would shriek down the road. The bellhop walking, the dog would be like, "Oh Lord, what is this?"
Christ.
That's my great bellhop
yeah,
impression.
Excellent bellhop.
Only
impression.
took me 20 minutes to come up with the word "fucking bellhop." So, and I don't even know if they walked. None of that's relevant.
Yeah, bellhops generally don't walk dogs.
None of this is relevant.
I like the world that you live in, though. I love it.
My point is that I think a lot of people would have lost their fucking shit.
But somehow this guy picks it out. So that is interesting. It almost sounds to me though like either some sort of malfunction, like in the tech where you can't see it, and then all of a sudden for some reason this guy is picking it up because if it's so flat and they're walking so weird, it's almost like bending light.
It seems
like when you bend light around things and you make it look like it's not there. Or this camo in particular, this would be perfect for like if you're like in a city fighting like insurgents or something, and you look like you're flat.
Right.
That's perfect because you're just you're against the wall and no one can see you, or you're just standing there and no one can see you.
But they still have to like buzz in, which is funny. Or I'll take it one step further. What if it isn't just camouflage technology? What if it is actual a dimensional breakthrough where it's the ultimate in technology and camouflage combined, in that it's not just you look flat, you fucking function in a two-dimensional mode.
But like they're traversing dimensions?
Well, dimensions not in the sense of parallel worlds.
Right.
Dimensions in the sense of literally
like,
1, 2, 3, 4 dimensions.
Right. So they're
that they're fully themselves in the second dimension, say, but when you perceive them in the third dimension, which they can physically interact with,
they would look flat. Yeah.
They appear flat. But maybe for some reason they weren't supposed to appear at all. But that would be the ultimate camo. You could sneak up on anyone. Think of that. Yeah. You would be the ultimate assassin. You would be the paper-thin ninja.
I would think your insides would have a problem with a 2D world, though.
I'm sure. Listen, I'm sure there'd be some Philadelphia experiment-ass shit where your spleen ends up embedded in the wallpaper or some fucked up. Who the fuck knows what happens? Like, it can't be good for you. But then again, the guys that worked on the atomic bomb, that wasn't good for them, at least a lot of them.
Right.
People that work on new technology are often fucked in the military.
Yeah.
And maybe someday their
it's just so weird
descendants get a few payoffs, but not always. Often not at all.
It's just so bizarre that they ring the bell.
But that's the thing. they still might have to practically do it. Like maybe they can't get so thin because they were suit thick. They weren't really paper thin.
Right.
So they can't like just slip through the cracks. They would still have to do functional shit. Like
yeah.
That's the thing that I love the most about this. Like you got to go in. You got to punch in. You got to fucking talk to the boss. You got to make small talk in the cooler about the sports event. You got to fucking do whatever you're doing. Like the guys in the mailroom, the only room that was open to the public as long as you were buzzed in by fucking Apple-hating security lord.
Yeah.
Fucking, they are working with these entities or at the very least aware of their existence.
Yeah, well, real quick. They go in, there's 10 dudes.
Yeah.
Right? The dude's there because he comes out. So that's the point that oh shit. These guys know what's going. Like they 100% know what the fuck this thing is.
Because it's right there.
Yeah, exactly.
And not to mention the fact that they're fucking grilling him.
Yeah.
What did you see? What did you see?
Almost what makes it to. I know I keep going back to the whole tech aspect of it, but it really makes it seem almost like it was a malfunction or maybe even just a test run. You know,
I will say this exactly what the eyewitness said was. Like, why would you do this in the middle of the fucking day?
Right.
In the middle of Washington. I still can't wrap my head around this.
I mean,
like, that doesn't make sense for a test run.
If you think about it, for a test run, that's a weird one because you stand to fucking fail really hard where half of the city is like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
But then for some reason, only one dude saw it. Weird.
That's part of the paradigm.
So, all right, so there's the whole tech aspect of it, which I think I'm leaning a little bit more towards. And as we did mention again with the Glimmer Man and even the Mirrored Men,
right?
So if we're speaking paranormal here, or like Project or Operation Pitchfork, where it's some weird occult fucking manifestation of the branch of government. Like if there's the one branch of government that's just like, hey man, we're the fucking super dark part.
Right. Like
we sacrifice all the babies and drink all the bloods.
Well, there was the fucking, what was like the 1st Earth Battalion that was like, represented in the Men Who Stare at Goats, the movie and the book and all that. And they did really deep meditation.
What the hell is that called? The viewers or whatever?
Remote viewing.
The remote viewing.
Yeah, remote viewing is their most famous legacy.
Right.
But they also experimented with teleportation. They experimented with psychic impulses in that if they were like on a mission to rescue somebody, they could make a dog allegedly imagine a steak dinner so the guard dog stopped barking. They could put in the minds of the people stalking them like, oh, you heard a noise to your left, and when they're at the right, and then they all go to the left. I'm not saying it happens. I'm just saying that was what they did, allegedly.
How do we get that job?
Yeah, to be in the 1st Earth Battalion would have been the shit.
But it pays really well, too.
Yeah. So could this be the dark side of that? Because that was definitely very zen, meditative. I'm not saying it didn't have military and killing applications, but but that was one side of how you deal with the paranormal. Almost certainly there is another. A dark side, if you will.
Yeah, it very well could be. I mean, if it is something paranormal and it is in cahoots with the government, or maybe it's not even in cahoots with the government. Maybe.
Oh yeah, it's definitely in cahoots with the government.
But maybe But I don't think that guy was he sure that it was? Oh no, you're right. He was sure that it was a government building. But maybe like many of the black projects that are out there, maybe Big Gov doesn't even know about it.
It's a possibility.
They're just like, we send these fucking dudes a bunch of Ouija boards and fucking money every month, and they're happy.
Could you imagine though if somehow some physicists just figured it out? Like, not only obviously we know there's different dimensions, and again, I'm not talking about parallel worlds or layered reality that are separated by a thin membrane or a veil, as we call it. And I almost hate saying it without Chris being here to fucking roll his eyes and glare at me.
Oh, he's listening right now.
But in my heart, it's happening.
As he's editing this, he's rolling his eyes so hard.
So that's one way you can refer to dimensions. I mean, literally in the sense of dimensions. And this scientist, this legendary physicist whose name is going to be fucking lost in the back room with the fucking lost ark, is found a way to not only acknowledge that, oh yeah, there's sentient fucking life forms there. They're even humanoid. It might even run parallel to our world, except it's in literal 2 dimensions.
Right.
And started a relationship, started a dialogue, found a way to communicate. We would definitely find a way to try to trade technology, try to trade techniques, try to figure out what they figured out, how it can apply to the real world, and they might send delegates here.
Yeah, dude, put them on the payroll.
That they're going to work at this building, and it's a super top secret building except for the fucking mailroom, and they got to buzz in, and for some reason, maybe it was the light, maybe it was the angle he was looking, this mailman, or maybe just
saw him, yeah.
Just had the vision. Maybe he had that ability like remote viewers have or whatever, though they suggest that anyone can do it with the right training, that he just was able to perceive something that most people, when we see things that are just a flicker in the corner of our eye, and sometimes we double take and it's just nothing and we want it to be nothing 9 times out of 10, we're catching glimpses of it and it's not processing. For some reason, maybe it just took. I'm not saying, I mean, I know I'm going on a limb saying we have a treaty and ambassadors with the second dimension and we're working shit out and then we have a work exchange program.
I mean, Valiant Thor, there you go.
Exactly.
Like, this is like the weird flat
It would be
version
weird
of
to be
Valiant
a
Thor.
third dimensional dude in the second dimension, though.
Yeah, it would be weird.
First off,
like, where do you sit?
I don't even know.
Yeah, what do you
Exactly.
do?
You don't eat. Everything's flat.
Do you ask for
You're
water?
not getting laid there. Your
No,
dick's not doing anything.
Your dick is
It's flat as
useless
shit.
there,
Everything's
yeah.
flat as shit.
Yeah.
I guess it's easier to mountain climb.
Well, no, because the mountains are flat.
Everything's flat.
What do you do?
Fly like a kite.
You know how
Everyone's
I feel.
attached to strings.
You know how I feel about kites, okay?
All right, so we got second dimension ambassadors. We've got camouflage tech that somehow broke down a little.
Yep.
And maybe it was just a sweet agent that was just getting up in his fucking grill. Just seeing if he could be seen while doing his thing. And he's wearing like a fucking... one of those blocky ass Dune fucking shields.
Oh yeah, that's
Slow blade.
One of the things I was thinking of too was like the Dune tech when they put their fucking they get their fucking sweet suits and shit on there. And there's a name for it. I can't think of what the fuck it is.
Yeah, I don't remember.
All my fellow Dune heads right now, we're gonna fucking.
I know there's the weirding weapon, but that was the sound-based one where you go eat choke.
The weirding module.
Yeah, the weirding module.
Yeah, and then because he's like, my name is a killing word. Well, Deeb.
Yeah.
Fucking blasts everybody. Those fucking
Why do we
bomb-ass
know
fucking
Dune so
fighting
well?
knives.
I'm not going to lie. It was 3 a.m. I couldn't sleep. It was 2 nights ago. I put on Dune.
I put on Dune all the time.
Fucking, it's just a soothing thing.
Just for the fucking Kyle MacLachlan fucking out where he's just talking. He's like, my name is a killing word. And you're like, yes, Kyle, it is.
Just the beginning of that movie.
Sorry, Paul.
The Emperor Padishah Shaddam IV, if you will. His fucking throne room is stunning. Stunning.
By the time we can't go into Dune World, we can't do it. But every time that goddamn guy with the
9 Inch Nails video guy barking.
I just laugh my balls off every time.
The Bene Gesserit witch must leave.
It's so ridiculous. Oh my god! It's like, how long does it take you fucking guys to get anywhere? What
all
do
the time. It's
every
inconvenient.
Time? Jesus!
I know you can fold space, but the fuck, you got to learn to walk faster.
Your procession is gonna. It's like a goddamn parade. It's like a.
It's shameful.
Yeah. Anyway, off of Dune. Back to the paper, guys. That procession still pisses me off. Fucking move faster. Move your asses.
I mean, I love the black tank.
I love it too, but still, stop.
All right, so here's something that occurred to me the other night. Back on topic.
Okay.
Fucking, what again? I know I go back to like deals with diabolical agents, but what again? I'm talking about these great scientists whose work will not be appreciated until long after they're dead because there's a government fucking shutdown on all the great discoveries now because it's not like the heyday where the industrialists exploited it. Now it's the government hiding it, where they make contact with the afterlife. And if you're a dead G-man, an agent that used to work for the Hoover,
but they make you keep working,
you can fucking come back to the agency, the special agency,
dude.
But for some reason, you whatever your soul is, it's non-corporeal at this point. So you have the veneer of being there, and you can interact with the world, and you can be a fucking ghost agent. But when you're seen, you're seen with like. I mean, you're working with heaven dimensions.
It's basically the BPRD.
It is the BPRD.
Pretty much.
Everything we're talking about is the BPRD.
Yeah, but
Operation Pitchfork is the BPRD. Fucking
yeah.
Our Enterprise with the second dimension is, but dead G-men coming back as flat agents to fuck around. I don't know why they're flat. If I could nail that part, the plot would really fall into place. Like, I don't get it.
If you can write that treatment and tie that in there, I would totally get it.
I could work harder.
It just seems like, man, what a bummer. Like, you're like, I'm finally done with the agency, and then you spend the rest of your days in the farm with your grandkids, and then you die, and then they're like, hey, you want to come back to work? And you're
can you
like,
imagine if you like signed a special contract, and you're like, what am I doing this for? They're like, it's dumb. It's like, yeah, no, you just owe like 3 more years after you die. It's like, so I'm getting like $200,000 to work for you 3 years after I'm dead? Yeah, easy money. And then you die, and you're like,
son of a bitch.
The fuck?
Big gov,
Should have known.
Fucking big gov.
And I guess here, too, that's my second favorite part about this. This is still a bureaucratic mess.
Oh,
it's
totally.
a government building. The human beings are clearly aware of these flat fucks, whether they're dangerous and diabolical or not. They're astounded by the fact that the video surveillance or whatever saw that the mailman clearly saw them
100%.
when they're not supposed to.
100%.
He still had the moxie to go inside,
Yeah.
so maybe they're impressed. Maybe that's what allowed him to live. He had the moxie to go inside, and he had the fortitude to pretend he didn't see what was right fucking next to him. But the thing is, this working of the bureaucratic red tape nightmare of government with seemingly obviously paranormal, if not sci-fi tech entities, to me is a fascinating marriage.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to say that the people in the mailroom 100% knew that he saw that. Mm-hmm. There's no doubt in my mind.
Here.
They were just like, yeah, let's see if we can scare this guy enough. You know?
I don't know if they're trying to scare him. They really seemed a little afraid.
I mean,
maybe I'm reading into it, but they're like, what did you see? What did you do, Ray?
You wouldn't stop him and ask him something if you weren't like, you 100% saw this.
Yeah.
Like, for real.
Maybe they were going to recruit him.
Maybe, yeah, you never know.
At this point, it's got to be almost like a Men in Black scenario.
Yeah.
In that, if this guy can see him and he's terrified, but he's not showing it. He's doing his best not to show it anyway. Maybe he's got the right stuff to work with the flatties. And I know that's considered a derogatory term, and it's not the approved of way to refer to second dimensional citizens.
It's flatties. For a second, I was like flat earthers or something.
No,
like Jesus Christ, you got the flatties and the QAnons.
I mean, it's not bad. It's not like a slur.
Right.
It's just a common reference that maybe is not the most appreciated.
You got fucking Q heads over here. I'm sure they're involved with this shit somehow. There's no way that they're not, because it's just definitely up their fucking alley of weird fucking shit. But there you have it. Thank you so very much for joining us for the Cryptonaut podcast. Robert, we rode this train into Slovakia. We did not solve the crime. We definitely drank.
We drank.
We did.
We ate well, because thank God the kitchen car was open.
For sure.
The chef died because we weren't really doing our job.
Yeah, we didn't.
But we ate some nice pheasant. But I'm telling you, as soon as we get off this fucking train, we are going to pick out the murderer. The police will come with their big furry hats. We're going to look like the heroes. All right.
I like
we're well fed.
Yeah.
And yeah, maybe the extra 6 didn't have to die, but I put that on Chris. He should have been there interrogating.
I mean, we'll hopefully.
Good cop, drunk cop is only 2 parts of the trifecta. You need mean cop.
Definitely. You need mean cop. You need pissy cop.
Yeah. Pissy cop will fucking, he will cut through the fucking red tape and
right.
get that bullshit. Maybe the chef would have lived. Maybe he wouldn't. I'm not here to say who lives and dies.
Hey.
I mean, we're supposed to stop the murderer. That wasn't really our job.
That's
yes,
what we
it
do.
was. But that's not the fucking point.
That's just how we do, dude.
We just had to figure out flat shit, drink, not die, be there when the cops arrived.
There it is, hellerspace.com. Get yourself all that summer gear. We got sales going on at least twice a month, I believe. Always get yourself the stuff on sale.
Hell yeah. Don't spend full fucking price on that.
And I post
silly
it.
monkeys.
I post it up on the socials, so you can check all that there. The Patreon, patreon.com/Cryptonaut podcast. Thank you to everyone that supports us over there. The Instas, and the Twitters, and the Facebooks, and that's it. Instas, Twitters, and Facebooks, right? Yes.
As far as I know,
all the things that we are on currently. Thank you to our Facebook admins over there holding the Facebook fan group down.
Oh yeah, always the best.
Be sure to jump in there and check that out.
Yeah,
it's
do
dope.
it. It's really the best thing to do on Facebook, hands down.
When you sign up for the Patreon, the shout outs generally are a week to 2, sometimes 3 weeks
long,
behind,
it's a
because
big list.
we have a huge list. So
don't get discouraged.
Don't worry about it. If you signed up, we got your name and we're going to get it out there. We generally are going to start trying to do 20 an episode, just to be sure that we can get all of them done.
Well, I do like saying names. I mean, it is a secret joy of mine.
Yeah, definitely.
So there it is.
And also too, with the Patreon, when you sign up, be sure to join the Discord. You can link that through your when you log into Patreon. There's a whole link there that will tie your tier into the Discord and get you in there and get you moving and get you doing your things. That is all of the out show announcements, I believe. Do we have anything else to talk about?
Not that I'm aware of.
Oh, and Pit Viper news.
Oh, God damn it.
Breaking Pit Viper news.
All right, bring it home.
So a bunch of people out there have been ordering Pit Vipers.
Oh.
Be sure that when you get your pits, get on your Cryptonaut gear and tag yourself in the socials, man, and let us know. And we're just going to bombard Pit Viper with, here's a Cryptonaut podcast. We're all repping our shades. What's up? Are we gonna party? What are we gonna do?
Are we gonna party?
Are we gonna party? Like what's going on?
If we could design some fucking pit
we
vipers.
might have a pair of somebody designing some
Yeah, you
some pits
mentioned
for-
that.
Don't worry, it's a surprise.
I assure you of one thing regarding pit vipers. I'm worried about nothing.
They will be. Listen, these will be a limited edition, probably only for us. Or I would say if you're gonna make them, go ahead and fucking sell them to our listeners. I'm fine with it. I don't give a shit. Do it. Like,
yeah, no, I'm
there
wide
you go.
open.
Yeah,
Make some money, I guess.
Just gotta keep them pit vipers going, baby.
I don't know why, but
Dude.
okay. If it means something to you, it means something to me.
I mean,
That's what
my
friendship
eyes, my
is.
fucking eyes, dude. I need to
There's
be
a
able
lot
to
of things
see
that can
and
protect
rock.
your fucking eyes, but
Oh,
you're right.
dude,
Not
I'm here
everything
to-
rocks.
Yeah,
So you're right.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right, listen, I don't understand it, but that doesn't mean I don't love you.
And 2 years from now, when you're just like, I don't even know how I didn't live without pit vipers, dude.
Yeah, that's exactly me in 2 years.
And they have
you painted that picture so well.
They got the inserts for you for my folks out there that wear glasses. They got the full prescription, so you could be rocking them 24/7, dude.
Yeah, there it is.
There it is.
So awesome that this is what we've become.
Oh, they're just trying to shill for a fucking
A company
sunglass
that gives
company.
zero fucks about us.
Hey, they do like our shit, and they respond to
All
our
right, well, all right,
stories.
thank you,
so
Pit Viper.
That's always the shot in the right direction. Thank y'all so very much, and we're talking to you soon.
Oh, keep it flat. Keep it flat, people. Not soda, though. Soda's delicious when it's carbonated. Pancakes are good flat.
Jesus Christ, okay.
I will talk about flat things for a while.
Oh, God.
I'm not here to judge the Great Plains. It's a wonderful place.
Goodbye.